Welcome to Rage Against the Regime Radio, where status quo gets taken to task. With your host, Bobby Who's Demand. Don't be a stranger. Give us a call at 929-477-3565 or contact us at rageagainsttheregimepodcast@gmail.com or on our Twitter at RATR Podcast. And please like our Facebook page. On with the show. Here's Bobby.
A voice with hopes that you're listening. Voice of America, I'm speaking from the citizens. Tired of the lies, all the false narratives. For us to survive, we must stand up as Americans. Need to alter the course that's been written. It's history, not his story. They mix it in with fiction. Behind the scene decisions, you're blind to see the visions. Freedom isn't free, society is prison. Fed up, I won't let up. There's no more room for mess ups. The administration's a bit outrageous. I think it's time we step up. How about I check off the definition of evil? Pay millions to bomb countries, but can't feed our own people. These countries don't even pose threats. Can Congress or progress? Syria, no GMOs left. Rothschilds want their own checks. Pipelines to control next. How many more lives will drones get? It's 7 countries, 5 years destabilized. No sweat. Voice with hopes that you're listening. Voice of America, I'm speaking from the citizens. Political smokescreen, they're giving you nothing. No hopes, dreams. I have children, where are they going? World War III, to grow up in that era is something that we don't want. The thought of that should scare ya. To cause and act, prepare ya. No thought, just facts that flares up. False flag attacks won't spare ya. They bury ya, no care for ya. The credibility's been gone. The peace prize you sit on, you're pissing in a windstorm. Give it back, it's been gone. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under. It's not about homegrown radical terrorists, more like brainwashing, driving fear in Americans. Many are sleeping, unaware of this, believing MSM, they're sheep. Now I'm very pissed. What about us? The dollar is decreasing. We can't afford to live, but this problem is a peace thing. The power of the people is no secret. Look at Egypt. What do we get? No respect, because our free debt has interest. The preset is business, so banks never lose when they risk it, just to create more and lend it. So we take more, cause we spend it. Let's brainstorm for a second. Why do we support this? We're too nice, we forgive. Let's take back this fortress and secure it before it crumbles down to nothing. Stand tall, take the ball, don't fumble now, keep running. Not elected, they're selected. The president sits breastfed, and if they go against the agenda, well, you know they get dead. Look at the bigger picture. They make moves to get richer and sit back and laugh at events like Benghazi. Don't talk about conspiracies, shadow governments and Nazis. They catch wind, their heads spin. Now you're in the hot seat. These colors don't run, my flag flies high. Second Amendment says my gun is mine till I die. First Amendment says my lungs let me breathe for my speech. Speak truth, no sweet tooth, sugar coatings for the weak. Impeachment for treason, no reason, because we can. What you're seeing, the agreement, no more bleeding. Defeating these demons, keep shining, believing. We're weakened, but we're still here. Your neighbors, don't leave them. Your rights, need to read them. We're human and we need to love each other. All around the earth, I walk on dirt. Treat me like your brother. I love you, please love me. We all should love our freedom. But answer this one question, can you tell me what we're free from?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rage Against the Regime podcast. You know who I am. Just in case you don't know who I am.
You can tell everybody. Yeah, you can tell everybody. Go ahead and tell everybody. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Yes I am, yes I am, yes I am. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man.
I'm so stupid, aren't I? Anyway, the opening title was from PTP, which stands for Power Through People. They are going to be the ones that we are going to have on the show tonight on Blog Talk. So, Becky did a show earlier today, and I kind of want to back up her show with the same type of show. We're not trying to knock patriots. We're not trying to knock 3%ers or oath keepers or anything else. But, I mean, all the talk that you guys do and, you know, everything that you guys stand up for and believe in and so on and so forth, you know, and that you're going to do this and you're going to do that. You're not doing anything. Okay? There's a lot of false promises. It sounds to me just like politicians. Okay? You guys say, we're going to stand up for this, we're going to stand up for that, we're going to do this little march or whatever. You're no different than half the patriots that are trying from their houses. Okay? Now, I'm not knocking anybody. Believe me, I'm not knocking anybody. But, you know, as Becky and I have talked about it and we sit here and think about it, do you have any idea how big the bullseye is on our back for the type of information that we talk about and the stories that we cover? And, you know, sometimes, you know, I sit there and I think to myself, is it something that I want to keep doing like the rest of my life? You know, it's really, really scary to think about, and not really so much from my point, but from my family's point, because they're always worried about me, and, you know, they think that if I keep doing the show that I'm going to end up getting hurt, or, I don't know. You know what I mean? And I don't think that that's the case at all. But on the same point, who knows? I mean, look at things that have happened. Look at things that have happened to, you know, here, take for instance, the gentleman that did the movie Gray State. They've got all these scientists that are dying. They keep, you know, finding them. They're dead somewhere. People that have worked for the government, you know, magically disappearing and being found dead. I mean, what the hell's really going on? I mean, is it just a coincidence? I don't think so. I really don't. But more patriots need to do more. Instead of talking about doing something, you need to actually do something. Becky thinks that it's a good idea that, you know, you go to a print shop, you print up a nice flyer, you know, maybe try to get a meeting hall, do something once a month, maybe once every couple weeks, and, you know, see if you can get a place to donate time. Even if you go to a coffee shop, a library, something that has a room in the back, go out and hand out flyers and, you know, talk to people and get more people active in your community. Don't bum rush them right away and, you know, try to force them, you know, into something that they don't really know too much about, but you want to wake more people up. Okay? You want to wake more people up. I mean, it seems like a lot more people are waking up, but you know, the way that things are going right now, we don't have time anymore. Time is over with. Seriously. Especially when it comes to the government, and then all these things that they say are going on. We've got some meteor that's supposed to be coming close to us, on Monday, that they say that is not going to be close enough to do any damage, but if gravity pulls that thing in, do you have any idea what's going to happen? We could be on a collision course of death. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I mean, I know nothing more than anybody else. But it's a what if. But then again, isn't life a what if? You could be walking down the street, get ran over by a car, hit by a train. There's a million what ifs. But it's really scary because, I mean, this government is just, it's sickening. Now, I'm going to turn you guys all on to a video that was sent to me the other day. It's a group of Chicago black teens and elders all sitting and talking about Obama. And, I mean, they're burying him. They're like, you lied to us. You know, everything that you told us is, straight out lie. Nothing that you told us is happening. Nothing is true. You know, what about jobs? What about the economy? What about unemployment? You know, just on and on and on. And they covered so many issues greatly and brought up a lot of things that a lot of us ask those same questions. But when we ask them, it's a race issue. It's a race issue. If you ask the same questions that they do, it's a race issue. Which I don't understand that whatsoever. But the point that I'm making is he's even losing his own people, even though he's not black. Okay? I don't care how many of you people sit there and tell me he's black. He's not black. He's Middle Eastern. Okay? He's Middle Eastern. But I'm going to allow you people to say that he's black because you all have supported him and, called him one of your own. He's not. He's Middle Eastern. I mean, more and more information comes out about him, like on a daily basis. His own wife went on TV during a, she was doing some kind of, I guess it was a, fundraiser or something. And she went on TV and she goes, oh yeah, and Barack's going back to his home country of Kenya. She didn't even frown. She didn't even think for a second. Wait a minute, that's not where he's from. She just kept going on with the conversation. I guarantee you when she was done and she went back to sitting down or whatever, I guarantee you whoever the press people were or, the people that work for the White House and stuff had to have been looking at her and probably said to her, you dumb ass. Do you have any idea what you just said? Which I find to be funny. But I don't know why they're even hiding it anymore. I don't know why the government just doesn't say, hey, look, we messed up. Okay? We made a big mistake. This guy, he's not who we thought he was. And, it's time for us to clean it up and fix it. It's never going to happen. I mean, it's a dream. Anybody that thinks that's going to happen, that and spit in your hand's going to get you what? Not a damn thing. Okay? It's not going to happen. So, we need to get away from that type of thinking because, all this wishful thinking is just, it's sick. More and more videos keep coming out on all these military convoys and, all this weaponry and all these different tanks and armored vehicles and everything that are being transported all over the place. People get a good look at those things, take pictures of them and so on and so forth. They are not sand colored. Okay? And they are painted, but they're not sand colored. Ours are all pretty much sand colored. And a lot of them have the same C on this side of them as China. Now, I've told you all about the base China has here in the United States. We come to find out that there may be even another one here. I told you somebody reported to me that there's 10,000 10,000 Chinese armored vehicles at that base. Now, I don't know, but I would like to find out, and we're trying to figure out a way that we can actually get into that area to find out if that's true or not. I mean, I'm not actually going there myself. We're trying to find somebody in the area that might know. I mean, a truck driver has come forward and said that he's delivered different materials and packaged goods and everything to the base, and that there's Chinese military there. And he said that while they were unloading him, that he was counting all the armored vehicles. Now, he came up with the number of 10,000. You know, not one person can count to 10,000 without, using a piece of paper or whatever or something. I mean, the guy's not going to go 1, 2, and get it up to 10,000. I could see it already. But do you have any idea how much space that would have to be able to count 10,000 vehicles? Because the way that he made it seem, it didn't even have, it wasn't even that much property. Now, I remember back in the day, Alex Jones, when he first came out and he was a nobody, he covered stuff like that. Stories that Chinese had a base here and the Russians and whatever. And you guys know that I made a big deal last week. It irks me how a Chinese submarine got into our waters undetected. How in the hell does something like that happen? That's huge. A Chinese submarine just cruising around in our waters and nobody detected it. Nah, nobody even had a clue it was there. Just driving around. Just comes popping up. Oh my God, the military, oh my God, there's a Chinese submarine. How did it get here? Either they let it in or we're just not ready. And for the budget that we spend on the military, if you couldn't detect a submarine, wow, our technology is bad. And then, like I said the other day, we allowed the Russians to pass through our ports, in our channels and our canals, and we allowed it to come in for the first time in forever. We never have allowed them to come here and pass through our channels and ports. And we did. Just recently. And then they allowed a Russian warship to dock in San Francisco. What the hell is really going on? Now, I know a lot of people are going to say different things about that. I don't actually think it's really that big of a deal that they allowed them to do that, because I don't really think that we're really on that bad of terms with Russia like a lot of other people think. A lot of people say, Russia's our number one enemy and Putin's going to come get us and this and that. I actually think him and Obama are in bed on a lot more things than we know about. I mean, you'll never see any of that on the propaganda. Oh, I mean mainstream media. You know what I mean. Propaganda. You'll never see anything like that reported. The last thing they want you to know is how close those two really are. Because I don't think that they're that far apart from each other. I really, really don't. I think that they're actually pretty close and they're pretty tight with one another. And I think that it would surprise you. Because they both have the same agenda. One world government. One world government. But you never hear about Putin. Never hear about Putin doing some of the things to his people that our government do to us. But then again, we really don't know. Now, the other day I heard and did a little bit of investigating about Gaddafi and about Libya. Do you know they have free health care in Libya? Free health care. They don't have to pay for it. 0. Schooling is free. They give you money to start a business and also buy a house. If you looked up all the things that Libya does for their people and what Gaddafi has implemented and put in place over there, I think you would be like, wow, what are we doing wrong? You know, my mother told me, I don't know, this is some months back, my mother, my wife, and I were all having a conversation one day. And we were talking about the deficit and how much money's owed and everything else. And my mother goes, well, I know how to fix it. Okay, let's hear it, Ma. Well, our deficit is whatever, trillion, right? Yeah. If you gave every person over the age, and you got to set a certain age limit or else this goes out the window. Every person over the age of 30 or whatever, we'll just say 30, you give them $1 million. And with that $1 million, they have to spend it back with the United States, within the country. Okay? Buying a business, a house, a car, so on and so forth. It will keep the automobile companies going. It'll keep the housing market correct. It'll keep banks moving. It'll keep everything going, right? Give everybody over the age of 30 $1 million. You know, and I sat and thought about that one day, and we kind of did the math on it and everything, and for how many people we have, and, you know, how many people are, you know, do you think are over this age and whatever. And you know what? It's not that much off from the deficit. It really isn't. But it would keep our economy going. You would have to spend $1 million on necessities and, you know, things that you would need. A house, a car, you know, whatever. Got to keep it flowing and keep it within, you know, industry here in the United States. I think that that would be a great idea, and I don't know why we're not doing it. I really don't know why we are not doing it. Let's be real, people. Everybody thinks that these low gas prices are, hey, that's great. Do you have any idea what the recourse is going to be? Once the gas prices start going up again. Here in Chicago, I've seen gas prices at $4.50, something like that a gallon. Well, right now, because I moved out of this city, I don't have to pay the city tax and all that. Right now, gas in my area is under $2 a gallon. It was over $2 the other day, it's under $2 now. Keeps going up and down and fluctuating. When the gas prices go back up again, so is everything else. It's all going to go back up. Prices on other items are going to go up. And I hate to say it, but I don't think that we're headed for a depression or a recession. Well, I guess you could say that we're going to be headed for a recession. I mean, I don't think it's going to be as bad as a depression, but it's going to be pretty bad. And I don't think we're prepared. I really don't think we're prepared. What are we going to do? You know, I'm not so much worried about me right now and, you know, in my life and all that. I mean, I'm worried about my kids and my grandkids. What does their future have to hold? Seriously, what does their future have to hold? Because right now, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, it doesn't look too bright. It really, really does not look too bright. So, with things to come, you know, what are we going to do to change all this? Especially when it comes to the economy, and you know, they're talking about, they really, really are being truthful when they say that they want to do away with money altogether. They don't want to have to deal with, you know, money and, you know, you to have bills and coins and everything. And that, you know what, that's going to be one way that they're going to take the money away from the drug dealers. Only way that you're going to be able to have your money is whatever you bring forward and say that belongs to you. What do you think, a drug dealer is going to walk up and say, this $50 million is mine? Yeah, right. It'll never happen. I mean, of course, they could give it to other people and say, oh, this is mine or whatever, and, you know, put it on however they're going to do it, a chip or whatever, and they keep talking about they want to implant this thing in us, and I don't believe that. I don't know if I believe that at all. I mean, yeah, I know they keep talking about it, and they keep doing all these little tests on it and stuff, and whatever. I mean, I can tell you right now, I'm not going to be a happy camper if they try to put it in me. Not at all. I'm not looking forward to that. It just aggravates me so much when I think of how this country is just completely flipped. It's just completely flipped on its head right now. And they're just like completely doing away with our Constitution, and that irks the crap out of me. Irks the crap out of me. Why? Why would you want to do away with what our forefathers and our founding fathers, you know, what they put together and what they built? It doesn't make any sense. It's really sad. It's really, really sad just to know that everything is just going to be like completely thrown away. It's pretty much what it boils down to. I mean, everything that we built this country upon, all being thrown right out the window. Alright, I'm going to play another song by PTP. You know what? Actually, this is PTP and Stephen Grant and Ill. I forgot his whole rap name, but this is a pretty good song. Check this out.
Turning out young people as clones of our sense of reality we want them to have, because they're controllable. And we'll call it education, and it means that we'll take children from their parents at a very early age, and we'll keep them there about 5 days a week at least, all the way through their formative years, and we'll pound them every day with our version of reality.
Burn your history books, kill your TVs. What you're being fed is disease. You are being led to dis-ease. Wake up your consciousness, live free. Burn your history books, kill your TVs. What you're being fed is disease. You are being led to dis-ease. Wake up your consciousness, live free. Everything you've been told is a lie. It's never questioned, and we get old over time. Slaves to the system, system, I won't step aside. You have three visions, open your eyes. Drones in the sky, UFOs by their side. Anunnaki control, there's nowhere to hide. War and famine's profitable. No releases of cures for diseases, cause you won't be in the hospital. Santa Maria came over with 2 other ships. Star family's on board, but you don't hear about none of it. We're stuck in this public front of a government. Do what they say, not what they do. Well, I don't wanna sit. Stop paying taxes, eat local, gain wisdom, seek global. Don't let the system control you. Remove the blindfolds for your own view. Burn your history books, kill your TVs. What you're being fed is disease. You are being led to dis-ease. Wake up your consciousness, live free. Burn your history books, kill your TVs. What you're being fed is disease. You are being led to dis-ease. Wake up your consciousness, live free.
Wake up, America, you passed out. Hey, yo, wake up, can you hear me? Yeah, you blacked out. And that's how these corrupt cash cows created a black cloud. Now they acting like they don't want to back out the black house. Yeah, we getting killed while the president laughs. They created a system that was destined to crash. It's gonna fall, and when it does, it's gonna come down fast. And we gon' need a lot more than just our bug out bags. These gun-free zones say it's safe to walk. You can't get raped or robbed. If you do, just wait for cops. Maybe not, just pray to God you can just stay calm. Meanwhile, shots are going off in the Navy Yard. From here to Kenya Mall, how can we tolerate it for any longer? Ain't it time that we make a call? We can't evolve and there's no hope for survival if we don't start to wake up and begin to open our minds up.
Next Wednesday night. I'm gonna get hammered.
At a young age, taught to obey. Kill your brain cells, soda benzo 8. This is Plato's allegory of a cave. We're living in the dark, imprisoned in our ways. Like sheep in a herd, we go about our days. You don't really know where your tax money goes, but debt gets higher and you have nothing, so a revolution's needed to grasp what we know. Storm Bohemian Grove on a late summer night. Disrupt the party and stay for the fight. A century of lies can't change overnight, but a start can happen. With a spark I'm rapping, let's march for action. Play a massive part when the stars come crashing. From the eye in the sky, turn on the panic. Put on your mask and smile. Release your heart from sadness. Burn your history books, kill your TVs. What you're being fed is disease. You are being led to dis-ease. Wake up your consciousness, live free. Burn your history books, kill your TVs. What you're being fed is disease. You are being led to dis-ease. Wake up your consciousness, live free.
These manipulators know it's an illusion, and they know we're creating it through our minds, and so they know if they program our minds with the right illusion, we'll create it physically. And the education system is massively, massively part of that. That is why we are pressured from cradle to grave not to figure it out.
You're listening to the Rage Against the Regime podcast. Don't be a stranger. Like Rage Against the Regime podcast on Facebook or tweet us at RATR Podcast.
So yes, that was PTP and the group that he was with Stephen Grant and Illicit, I think it is name. You know what? I'm probably chopping his name up. I'm going to try to find it. I think it's pretty good. I think their music is pretty damn real good. And, you know, with them being patriotic, especially PTP, Power Through People, I can't wait to chop it up with him tonight on the show. And I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope you all are too. So, that's really about it for now. I don't really want to kill everything that I want to talk about later on. I'm just going to do, you know, this little short show, and then we'll be back at it later on tonight at 7 o'clock on Blog Talk Radio, which is www.blogtalkradio.com/Rage Against the Regime podcast, just like all of our information here. which when we leave and I play the outro, you will hear all of our information. We would like you people to please get involved more. Like us everywhere you listen to us, and please follow us. If you're listening to us on Blog Talk, on Spreaker, iTunes, YouTube, wherever, please like us at all those places. And something's wrong with our YouTube. I actually have to talk to Dialer Jones, which I think he's listening right now. I have to talk to Dialer Jones and see if he can actually fix the issue that I'm having with YouTube. But that's it for now. We will catch you guys later on tonight on the Blog Talk show. So that's it for now.
This is the Rage Against the Regime podcast. Like Rage Against the Regime podcast on Facebook or tweet us at RATR Podcast. If you'd like to send us an email, it's rageagainsttheregimepodcast@gmail.com. And of course, you can call or text us at 256-344-RATR. That's 256-344-7287.